Operations room, are you receiving?
Operations room here. Receiving loud and clear, over.
Operations room, you're clear to go. Go, go, go.
Operations room here. Roger, Wilco. All understood. Okay, chaps, get your sprue out and get your clippers at the ready. Okay, Johnny, let's go. Tally-ho, tally-ho. So, good evening, one and all. First of all, apologies for the cancellation the other night. Couldn't be helped. I am here. Hello. Yeah, it was. It's been a difficult week, so not going to bang on about it. It is what it is. So we're here. We're just going to sit and look at the bench for a little bit, see who comes and joins us. Obviously, we are going to be doing the Hellcat. We are still here. Yeah, we haven't gone too far in it, so yeah, but we'll come to that. I'll show you what I've been up to, where we're up to, and what we're going to do this evening. So, hope everyone's well. Obviously, in the UK, we've got the Jubilee weekend, so a nice long bank holiday for people. Congratulations to everybody to have some time off. I don't expect a great deal of people to pop in because it's the last minute thing. I only put it up last night, but we'll see. We'll see. First in there is Dominic. Saying good evening. How are you? Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And like I said, sorry for letting you down. It wasn't intentional. Just one of those things. So yeah, we're just gonna chill out. Like I said, we're gonna show a couple of bits and pieces as to what we've been doing, where we're up to. Hopefully, we're at a point now where we could be doing some painting very shortly. So, but I'll hold on for time to a couple of seconds. Sprue and Glue's there saying hi to Model Offset. Hope you're well. I am. Thank you. So we've got 4 people watching. Make sure you say hello. Obviously, I'll highlight you up. The fact you're in there. Chat between yourselves by all means, and ask any questions as we go along. So yeah, so this is the Infinity Models Helldiver SB2C-4 132nd. This is the 4th part of the build, and as you know, I've got a little bit mental with it. So, and lo and behold, I've got a little bit more to show you as to what I'm going to do with the kit. So, but yeah, we'll just give it another couple of minutes, see who else pops in. So, what are you up to? What are your plans for the next few days? You got anything coming up? Those of you in the UK, have you got any plans to go and celebrate the 70 years of our Queen's reign, or are you just not that fussed? Happy to have a couple of days extra off. And those of you outside the UK, maybe you've got a bit of a royal bit of blood in you as well, and you're doing a bit of celebrating. I don't know. So, Dominic's just saying there, sometimes there are circumstances you can't do anything about. Yeah, and that is purely it. You know, like I said, I'm not going to go into the details as such, but yeah, very stressful few days. You know, this year's going to be a hard year for me. You've got some great things planned coming up, and a lot of plans that I had for this year are very quickly falling by the wayside, unfortunately. But there you go. That's just life. Just life. So anyway, so we're just coming to the 5 minutes live. So I'm going to start explaining what we're doing. So as you can see here, we are still on step 8. We're doing the interior, etc. And obviously you can see the engine there, so it might be giving something away there. But But anyway, yeah, so that's the instructions. You know where we're at. So first bit to show you is this bit here. So this is one of the sections of the fuselage. As you can see, I have cut out this area here and added a load of wiring, etc. I'm not too worried about these marks. This is a bit of super glue. For some strange reason, some of the wiring was a bit of a nightmare. It wouldn't go down. So, yeah, a little bit of tidy up's required on that. But as you can see, we've opened up the other side like we have on the other section. So you can be able to look into the behind the bulkhead of the engine on both sides. So that's that bit done. Put that out of the way. So, the exciting bit, I guess, is this bit. So as you can see, all the wiring is done inside that I want to do. You're not going to see most of it, to be honest, and I did it just for a bit of fun. But as you can see, the main engine compartment, or sorry, the rear of the engine compartment is now coming together very, very well. What we've done, hopefully, what we'll do is we'll zoom in a little bit of zoomage. Here we go. So as you can see, we've got our struts here. We've got our wiring attached to it, and this is done. I've got another bar to put in here, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. So as you can see inside, we've got our tank that we've had 3D printed. Very kindly, the drawings etc. was very kindly done by Dan, or Quano Man, as you might know him. Done a fantastic job. Really, really looks good. So that's that done. And then on the other side, as you can see here, what we've done is we've added a little bit. So using a suitable pointer, just here where the intake is to the tank was a little box, but it didn't print out. So I've tried to make a photo etch, bit of bent brass to make the little tray there. So we've done that. We've added a little bit of electronic trickery onto there, and our wiring, etc. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see that very well, but you can just about see the wiring in the top section here. You don't really see it very much, if I'm honest. But if we turn it over, you can see the wiring I'm talking about just here. So that's all in. It's done. So yeah, the tank is not fixed. Because I'm going to take that off to paint the interior and etc. I've tried to leave it as take apartable as possible, so we can paint it and fiddle with it. So yeah, so there we go. So that's our two fuselage parts. Let us come back out a little bit here. I've also made some stands for the fuselage case, the fuselage halves. Bit of cork, cut it at an angle, and we can just pop it on like so. And hey presto, it doesn't stand up because that's what we designed it for. Arse. But yeah, so it stands up on the bench, so I can look at it, adjust things, bits and pieces. So that's that bit. So we're just going to move that out of the way because we're not actually going to play with that today. The other bits in which we put together, I'll come to in a second. I just noticed that the chat has gone a little bit wild. So there's 5 people watching. Thanks you guys for being here. Spirigler said, did a video of future builds and streaming tomorrow, but nothing more than that. Oh, okay. Well, it's good that you're going to do something. And future builds is always good to know. Mark at the Edinburgh Modelling Man Cave is saying, evening, gentlemen. Evening, mate. How are you? Steve is there from Total Scale Models saying afternoon. Indeed. Thank you very much, matey. And you're just talking to yourselves there and saying hi to everyone. Yeah, by all means, please communicate with one another. You know, it's not all about me, as they say. So the other bits in which I've got done are, so we have got this part here, which is part of the interiors. We've done this part here, again, part of the interiors. Now, there is, on this particular part, surprise, surprise, there is a piece that goes in here, which is this clear plastic. Fits on that. Is it that way? No, it's not that one. Anyway, but it's the same. It's clear plastic. So the one thing I found with this was that this is because this is to do with the instrument panel, I believe. The on the sprue, it's actually attached right in the middle here. I don't know if you can see that really well. So you have to clip it off, and then you have to sand it back. And I was a bit nervous about it, so I've done it off screen. But it's buffed up okay, so yeah, happy with that. So again, that's all ready to primer. And the way it works is, as I say, it's not this particular part, but there's a part that goes on here that's clear as well. There's some decals that go on behind it, and then the plastic goes on top. So yeah, interesting way of doing it. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, but we're going to get that all done. So yes, we've got that bit of interior done. We've got this bit of the interior done. So all of the main parts that go in the fuselage are done, or at least as per the kit. So this is the cockpit. The seat is here in two pieces. I haven't put that together yet. But the detail on it is okay, but I think it can be added some more. So, for example, let's stick with the cockpit for now. Put these back up out of the way. That way we won't break anything. So, bit of zoomage. Bear with me. So, as you can see, that's the cockpit. It's okay. It does the trick. But there's a lot more wiring in which I can add, and bits cabling and bits and pieces. So I'm going to add that on to the bottom of the floor. Haven't done the research for it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of research, and then maybe another part of the build series where we tackle that. My thought being that if I can get all the rest of the interior painted, maybe I'll leave that to the end, add a few more cables, bits and pieces, and then paint it live. Oh, mad. I don't know why I'm saying that, but yeah, that's part of the deal anyway. So that's that bit. But what I've been playing with recently, or more recently, is the engine itself. So as you can see, I'm putting the bits on, and that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be adding some more bits on here, and I'm going to show you the kit parts and how wonderful they are. This is not all glued completely, because I want to take it off and paint it separately, then put it back together. It has the ability to do that. So that's that part. And then obviously the rear section, which is again another part that's 3D printed, kindly all drawn out, etc., by Aquaman or Dan. And then I suddenly realized that the engine is air cooled, and it needed pipework on the back. So the actual framework that I've put on on this bit here is not 100% correct. But what we'll end up with, or I hope, or should end up with, is this effect like that. So as you can see, or just about see, you'll be able to peer in and see the back of the engine as such through the hole. So that's where we're up to with that. As I say, this is only blue tacked on, so we're going to be playing with the engine. But engine detail is okay. I'll just give you a closer look at that, what we did there. So like I say, this actually took a little bit of thinking out. I tried bending plastic, didn't work. I tried bending paper straws, didn't work. And then suddenly thought, oh, cable, take the cable out of it, and you're left with a sheath, and that fits lovely. So all I've done is I've just cut a little bit of brass, gone around it to make the clips, etc., that would go in there. It's not 100% correct, but remember, you're not going to be able to see all of it, so it's really is just an illusion as such, because you'll be peering through the side of the fuselage. So yeah, quite pleased with how that came out. As I say, it's not 100% brilliant, but it's enough to give the illusion. So anyway, so that's that. So we're just going to put this up out of the way because we don't need that there. So yeah, we're going to play with the engine today. As I said, these are literally blue tacked on. These two parts, he says, like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just add some more bits to this. And to the rear of the engine as well. So but there you go. Cool. So that's what we're going to be playing with today. Let's go back to the chat very quickly and make sure we're all up to date. And we are 4 people watching, although there's more than 4 people that have said hello. So I don't know how accurate that is, but anyway. So I will explain to you what I thought about this kit. If you indulge me for a minute or two. Now, the kit itself, when I had a quick look at it, a cursory glance, thought, oh, lovely, lots of detail, got a lot to do with this, perfect. However, it is a difficult kit in as much as there's a lot of strange ways they've done the gates, etc., on the sprue. And to illustrate that, obviously this is the engine, part of the engine details that I will be doing, playing with. But as you can see on here, now the way it is on here, and this is an easy one. This part here is like 3 times the size it needs to be. So once you stick it on, and I'll show you that, I purposely left it to show you what I mean. You've got to be a bit clever in how you cut it, otherwise you cut it too short or you cut it too long, and it can be a bit of a pain. So, but as you can see on here, all these parts here, this is where the engine was. Actually, if I do that one there, because that's probably better. That's how the engine sat. But this is there's nothing really between the gate and the part, so you're clipping away, and if you're not careful you end up creating a lot of problems. So, and there's quite a bit of flash on this as well. So I'm not complaining about the kit. I am just merely pointing out that if you're a modeler who doesn't want to do cleanup, etc., this kit is not probably the one for you. Now, not prepared for this particular part, and the bits I'm going to show you may not help me explain what I mean exactly. Just bear with me a second. I just want to try and find. Oh, actually, that'd be a good one to show you. So put that back over there a minute. Don't need that right now. So on this particular part here, this is sprue D. All the bits, all the little boxes and bits that go on in the fuselage, as you can probably tell, quite chunky up to your part. But not only that, but as you can see, there's like a really big nib. So they've not really made a great deal of separation between the part and the gates. So when you cut that box off, you got to cut it off like up here, up this part of the sprue, and then trim it back. And then to get this surface here flat, you've then got to trim away the bubble of sprue. So yeah, every single piece that I've cut off so far, I've had to clean in some form or another. And generally speaking, it's to do with the gates. So difficult and seams, quite a lot of seams. But anyway, that's my advisory over. Like I said, it's not a whinge because it's fine. I did check it before I started making it, so it's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this part on the engine, and I'm going to show you what I mean from my wingage, if you like. What I'm going to do first of all, I'm just going to clean this blue tack off, because we don't need that on there. It was on there purely so I could show you how we're going to look. There you go. Taking that bit off, that's fine. Okay, so now I've got to remember which way around that goes. So I was just saying, my AFV club was the same. Huge gates in the wrong areas, but no definition between the part and the gate. Yeah, everything with this kit, I would advise everybody to cut well away from the part. I'd also suggest to you that you not only want to cut away from the part, but you want to double check dry fit in and all that sort of stuff, just to make sure you're not sanding off anything that's meant to be there, because I can imagine it's going to be so easy to do, and there are parts to come up that that's going to play a little bit more important attention to as well. So and it was Mark's just saying the AFV Club Senator tank is what she was talking about. Just means more sanding. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I say, it's not a direct complaint or whinge or moan. It is just an advisory for anybody that's watching this, because I know someone's watching this that's building the kit, so or has got the kit and wants to build it. So be careful. The other thing in which I found out as well, and while we're talking about errors, this bit here, I've been advised, be really, really careful where you cite this, because the instructions are incorrect, allegedly, because it would bring, if you cite it here, as it's said, apparently, it makes the wings too far back. So that'll be a case of double checking before you glue that in as well. So, and again, that's quite crucial you get that right. So yeah, bit of a pain, but anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, the plan is we're gonna just add these bits on, and then while I'm doing that, I'm going to explain to you where I'm going to go next with the build. So let's crack on. Any questions? Just let me know. So as you can see, I'm cutting actually well away from what I need on purpose. I'd much rather trim a little bit of plastic that I don't need off the part than leave it on the sprue and give myself a bigger problem. So as you can see on this, we actually only need, if I show you with a scalpel, so everything to the right is waste and everything to the left is what we need. So, and to be honest, I'm not even sure that's 100%. It might be a little bit too long. So yeah, it's you need to be really, really careful with it. So what I've done is we've got these, obviously these angles, don't need the angles at all. So what we're going to do is just going to go around, cut them off, keep cutting that off. Now notice my sidekick's not with me today, Carl. He may be in a little bit of a while, he might not, but that's fine. This was all done very last minute with no consultation, so we're not expecting Carl as such to be with us. So you go, just trim that off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sand that one, I think. Just going to sand it a bit round. Sanders I'm using are from Pool international scale modeler. So this is UMP retail. Other sanders are available, of course. These just happen to be the ones I've got. We're not sponsored by Paul in any way. So it's just purely a case of this is what I use. And I'm saying that because YouTube will pull me up on it, as they have done with other things already during this build series, which is rather annoying. But there we go. It's all good. It's all good. So just a cursory little sand around. Tidy up the bench. Get all our bits to one side. Don't need that. So now this is where I'll have to try and remember which side is which. Yeah, that is the correct side. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to glue that in place. Why do I get the feeling that's the wrong way around? Yeah, there you go, that's better. Bit of Tamiya extra thin. Go around the inside a little bit as well. Make sure that's sat nicely. So like I say, what have you got planned for this weekend, guys? You got stuff on the bench, or are you going to be spending some time with the family? I know it's only Wednesday yet. Maybe it's a little early to start thinking about that sort of thing. What I'm going to do is have a quick double check on this. The annoying part is this springs off. Bear with me. So now I was saying about checking out your instructions, making sure you don't make any errors. And there you go, made my first error. The part's on the wrong way around. That's right though. No biggie. A little bit of cleanup. We'll get that off. Around a little bit more around there. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you got planned for the weekend. That'd be good to know. Always good to know what other people are up to. Maybe you got a nice kit on the bench. Maybe you're going out to an event, or maybe you've got plans to do a little bit of shopping for your next project. And I don't mind showing you that I make mistakes. Like any builder, we all make mistakes. So that's all good. Okay, so that's where we want it anyway. Now, as you can see, the parts are way, way too big. So I'm going to cut those down and glue them as we go. I just want to make sure I've got any excess glue from changing this around off, because that will transfer around the model if you're not careful. And as you saw, I did test fit it first and still managed to get it wrong. So me this weekend, I am working solidly now for the next 10 days, I think, at least, if not more, which is a bit of a bummer. Okay, so before we go to the next bit, I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. Dominic's just saying I get a good friend to visit with his wife and daughter of just 1 year old. Oh, okay, cool. So you got some friends coming over this weekend. That's great. To be honest, just sat before we went live. Just sat out in the garden with the wife and said to her, "Oh, I could just sit here and not do anything more." Okay, so let's be big and bold. So you can see I've cut it a little bit too long. It's fine. That's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to smooth it down a little bit with a bit of Tamiyax with him. And hopefully that will just slide into place like that. So while I'm moaning about it, it's actually a clever way. You just make sure that you cut the piece in situ. That way you can tell whether you're going to cut it too long or too short. Sorry for the binging. There will be some messages and stuff coming in. It's personal. I can't stop that from happening, especially at the moment. Bits and pieces going on in the background, like I said. So there you go. As you can see, that's the first two bits done. What we're going to do is just going to work my way around this carefully and methodically. Now, if you should have an error and cut it too short, not the end of the world, don't panic. So what you can do is, I won't show you on this because I don't want to cut it short purposely. But if you do, you've got the ability to glue it to the side of the piston head. And then what I did, because I did do this on, I did have that happen on here, whichever one it is. So yeah, just here. This one here. Was it that one there? I can't remember. Well, I did a good job. Oh, there we go. This one here. So as you can see, this one here is cut a little bit too short. So what I've done is I've stuck it to the back of the piston and let it dry. And then what I've done is I've got a little bit of sprue glue and filled it in. Before the sprue glue goes off, you can have a little bit of a play with it, and it will give you a little bit of movement in there. What I did is I used a cocktail stick and a sharp knife. The reason I used a sharp knife was to make sure that where the glue was actually going to be sticking to the side of the pitched piston head, it made it look solid, and I was losing the tube effect. So by just sliding my knife down the side here, I managed to open it up to allow me to regain that tube effect. So there we go. little tip. I mean, obviously you could use filler. Filler would be problematic because obviously you're gonna fill it, and then you got to try and sand it. That would be a bit of a nightmare. So sprue glue is your friend. Remember, all sprue glue is glue and sprue. So you can mold it. You can do things with it. And luckily I've done one of these off camera, so I know what I'm doing. I was going to go bold and just do it all live. And I thought, no. Recipe for disaster. So I have had a little bit of a cheat. Well, not really cheat, is it? It's a bit of prep. Now this one, I've managed to cut this a little bit too long, and I'm struggling to get it to go in. So what we need to do, sharp blade, holding the rod next to the area in which it's going to, and just very gently manipulate that. Cut it a little bit shorter, trim it off a little bit, and it should. There we go. Just pops in. Okay, so worst thing to do is to panic. Don't panic. What we'll do is we'll just clean this up a little bit here. I will come to the chat in a minute, guys. So, you know, if you've got questions or you want to make a comment, please make a comment. I beg you. And I will check it out in a second. So, as you can see, I've manipulated that a little bit because it was a little bit too long. Now, what I'm using here is a scalpel blade. This is a number 9. As you see, it's like a chisel. I would advise you, if you can, get yourself some handles and get yourself multiple different types of blades. Don't stick with just one. So there you go. We're working our way around, as you can tell. Mark is just saying there, I've got a British tank and a base to finish for the club competition. The first off this Porsche 959 that's on my bench now, redoing the engine as it looked crap. Yeah, your crap and my crap. I'm sure you do an amazing job anyway, regardless. But yeah, if you're not happy, it doesn't hurt to strip something back and start again. Don't lose faith of your model. So one of the reasons, as you can see, I'm using the extra thin here on the cut is because I want that plastic to melt a little bit, so that when I ease it into its home, it's going to slot in, hopefully. He says. Obviously getting a little bit cocky here because all of a sudden it's not quite working how I want it to. So but that's good because it gives me the ability to show you. So what I've done there is I just pop that back out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chisel blade towards the part, slice the top down to help the part fit the gap. And there you are. So as you possibly can see, there's a little bit of damage Again, not a problem. Use your glue. Just wipe your glue over it, and I'll take that damage away. Now, obviously, I'm going to have the same issue on this one. I've been a little bit generous in the cut. And there we go. And there you go. Somebody just saying, patience is a virtue. Wise words from my grandmother. Yep, absolutely. Something I am not very good at. Patience, got to be said. But I'm pretty certain my grandparents and parents probably have told me that 1,000 times. The same as my dad will always say, if you don't succeed the first time, get another go. And you will succeed eventually. Just keep doing it. Keep trying. Practice makes perfect. So just soften up that end now. Funny enough, on this particular part, I've done the opposite of what I've got exactly the opposite of what I just had. So I've cut it just a little bit too fine, and now I'm going to have to try and make sure that sits in there nicely. Not going to be overly exciting for you, I'm afraid, because I'm going to have to hold that in place like so. And quite often you'll find these particular parts of the engine will come in photo etch in a lot of cases. And I think, to be honest, photo etch would have been my friend on this. So luckily the other side I've cut almost perfectly, so we can hold both in at the same time. 7 people watching, thank you for being with me. If you haven't made a comment already, say hello, tell us what you're up to on this wonderful Wednesday morning. So while I'm holding that, I'm just going to have a sup of coffee. Scale Model Muse is there saying hi all. Hi mate, how you doing? Hope you're well. $43 minutes already into the stream. Thank you for being with me. I am quite surprised that that's the case. So tell me what you're up to. Okay, what I'm going to do is going to let that go for a second, because that one has popped out of the well. And what I'm doing here is I'm just teasing the edges a little bit to see if the plastic has melted. If I can bind those together. We were going so well, weren't we? Scale Model Muse is saying, having coffee, trying to decide what to eat as I work at 5. Oh. Yeah. Well, make sure you do eat something. Don't go to work hungry. Never, ever a good move. Never, ever a good move. So now, as you can see, the glue is melting the plastic, but all in the wrong place. Which is really annoying. So all I'm doing is just blowing on it, trying to help the reaction. What I'm going to do is also use my scalpel blade. Let's see if I can get some extra help going on here with it. No, it's certainly not going to have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my blade down the side here. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. These things happen. So annoyingly, the plastic has reacted to the glue, but for some reason, it's just not having it. So what I'm going to do is last little bit of glue, I'm going to put on there, hopefully run that in nicely. And wait a second. True that since I buy junk, yeah, that's my biggest problem. You know, if I don't eat properly, I've got a shop literally right across the passageway to me, and it ends up getting raided. So no, not good. So I'm used to go to the bakery instead of the deli. Yeah, I end up with crisps and chocolate and all the really healthy options. Right, I don't know why, but that really is not playing ball with me. To the point where it's actually melting the one part I don't want it to melt. And it's going to give me some right old cleanup. We carry on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take away a little bit of the melted plastic. Hopefully not adding a hair, because there are cat hairs in here, unfortunately. I'm trying to be a bit clever. If I can sand a little bit of the piece, create a little dust, add a little bit of glue, and that's the last time I'm going to add glue to this now, because I am starting to get a bit frustrated and worried that I'm going to just lose the definition, the very little bit of definition that was there. I'm going to lose that if I'm not careful. No, it's not having it. Right, I'll leave that for now. Same issue and problem on this one. So I'm just going to hold that while I clip away these bits. Okay. Oh, look at me. I don't Michael ever making mistakes. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do a bit of clampage. Hopefully hold that in place for now. I've only got a couple more to do anyway. So yeah, so the plan. I'm not saying am I. The plan. So yeah, so the plan here is to get the engine assembled as much as I can without actually gluing all the different parts together, because in my infinite wisdom, he says sarcastically, what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding to the detail of this. And annoyingly, we managed to get ourselves into a couple of sticky situations here. So yeah, when you're cutting this part, the easiest thing to do is cut it, trim it to where you think it needs, and then bend it around so it's coming at the side of the piston, and it will just pop into place. Yeah, they still haven't 100% gone where I want them to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that and clamp that up. Actually, no, I don't need to. Bit of patience, be fine. Yeah, and they pop into place. They're fairly simple, very easy to make a mistake with, though, as I said. But also easily rectified. So don't panic. It's really strange how the plastic just has not performed the same all the way through. Really strange. Yeah, we'll give it a little bit more minutes to go. The lovely Lisa is there from the craft station. Hi Lisa, how you doing? I hope you're well. Thanks for joining us. Music's just saying there all the best things, laugh out loud. And then corrected his spelling. Stupid hands. Don't worry about that. I'm not the person to worries about that sort of thing. Being dyslexic, I make loads of mistakes anyway with anything I write. So my close friends and family will know that from experience, where I've sent some bizarre messages to them. Oh, there you go. Now, I stopped telling you what I was doing purely because I have something in which I want to show you to explain it better. But obviously, while I'm holding this, I can't really stop what I'm doing, can I? And I've just noticed that this is really quite light, dark again, and I have no idea why. Really don't. But anyway, bear with us. Just not having it, is it? Annoyingly. Just not having it at all. So, okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to Not that I'm rushing, but I'm getting a bit frustrated. So what I'm going to do just off camera here, I've got a little bit of super glue. What we'll do is we'll pop these out. And use the terminology, if at first you don't succeed, cheat. I mean, then find another method. And of course, it won't let me. It won't let me push that in. Rat bag. There you go. That's better. Not 100%, but it's better. So like I say, gives me a little bit of cleanup. Unfortunately, I didn't really want to have to do, but that's okay. Okay, so we're so close, but yet so far. Come on, you rat bag. Right, there we go. And the more I fiddle, the more I find I've got issues. Well, I didn't have this problem at all on the last one. So I have no idea why this has done this. I think actually using that clamp has pulled some of them out. So yeah, be careful, guys. There we go. So there you go. That's all our bits on. And then obviously this, he says, now do I remember how to do this? That goes on like that. That goes on like that. Somewhere along the line. Without the cat hairs. There we go. So that's our engine. Coming along nicely. However, I mean, that's the kit detail. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. But the problem I have, the problem for this build, is I've decided, what's going on with this cat hair all of a sudden? My God. It's not my hair, that's a dead cert. Yeah, so as you can see, that the detail is fine. There's nothing wrong with that detail at all. Yeah, you know, if you're going to have that with the cover on, not a problem at all. However, for me, I want to try my best to make sure that it's as accurate, or well, not accurate, but just as interesting as possible. So I did a bit of research and I found out that this particular engine on this aeroplane was the same engine that was used on a Hellcat, Pratt and Whitney, RS 5250, I think, off the top of my head. But anyway, so what I did is I got hold of this. This is the 1/24th Truman F6F Hellcat. Brilliant kit. If you haven't seen it, look it up. And if you've got a few pennies spare, buy it. It's a great kit. But what they do in the kit is they do give you the option to wire the engine. So I've got a wiring diagram effectively of the engine. Now, hopefully, if I move that up, as you can see, that is the wiring. It's quite complicated. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to achieve it, because obviously it tells you in this the lengths you need and the right gauge wire, etc. So the lengths are going to be incorrect. The only thing I can do, I suppose, is work out each length, what it would be in 1/32, and hope to God it's right. So, but yeah, that's something in which I'm going to do. I'm not doing that tonight. Don't get excited. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to work it out and try a section. And then if it seems to be fairly easy, then what I may well do is I may well do a build episode of wiring the engine, and we can go through that. So yeah, that's the next step, next bit of detail in which we're going to put onto our engine that we've just been making, as you can see. Let's catch up with the chat, see where everybody is. Music just says she's going to go off and get some food. Be right back. Okay, no worries, buddy. Dominic's just saying tomorrow afternoon, 1:15-ish, 1:15 English time, I have a live stream. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I will try and tune in and see that. I think I may well be able to just before I go to work. So hopefully. A little bit of chat between yourselves. Lisa's just saying to Mark that she's good, thanks. Tired as in office work day today rather than from home, so an hour's commute either way. Oh, yeah. And Mark's just answering back saying that he's knackered from people who haven't got a clue about my work committee. Just from everyday work, too hot. Yeah, nightmare. And like I say, Skullfish, they're saying good evening and hi to us all. So yeah, 11 people watching. Thanks for tuning in. We've been going now for an hour, would you believe? Wow. Even I'm shocked by that. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I've done the pipe work. This is the rear of the engine. And what I'm going to do is take that off. We don't need that at the moment. And the reason I'm taking it off is because I'm going to look to see the other bits in which we're going to put on and what that entails and where that puts us for painting, etc. So as I said, the reason I haven't glued it all together is because I want to paint it up in parts, so then I can bring it together. So what I may well have to do is talking about that wiring, going back to that wiring, is I may have to paint the engine to a satisfactory level, not completely, then add that wiring in, and then paint the wiring, obviously. Right, okay, where is my bits? There's my bits. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the instructions for a minute. So I just want to check something actually while you guys are all looking there. Oh no, it's okay. Just suddenly thought about the. Oh, it's okay, cool. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'll cut a couple of the bits off and stick them on and see how we do. Do you know I can't do it? I can. Let's try. Let's cut this bit off here. Right. See now, I'm talking about clean up. Come right in here. And you see that? Every single pipe's going to need cleaning up. Look at the seam on that. What a nightmare. But that's okay. That's fine. Let's not panic. What I do want to do is I want to see how this fits. Does it fit? How does it work? Okay. Okay, that makes sense to me. Sort of. So like I was saying, be careful how you cut the bits off this bruise, because they are not great for helping you. Okay. That goes on there like that. Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to do that, which is a real pain. What I was hoping to achieve was, as you can see, this bit here is where my pipes go, etc. Clip in, and they've given you a little bit within the gate to fill these holes, which is a good idea. Works fine. As you can see, once they're glued in, I'm gonna have to go around and trim them as I go, which is fine at the beginning. But as the more I go around, the harder that is to get those nippers in. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. But as you can tell, I'm going to have to deal with the seams now, which is not hard. You know, a sharp blade, run it down where the seam is, and it will come off nice and easy. But it's just unnecessary work. And they're not the way they are on the sprue. I don't really see a really easy way to remedy this before you cut it off either. So, you know, this is going to be the way. A bit laborious. Certainly not something you're going to sit and want to watch for the next 3 hours while I put 3 or 4 pipes on. So that will affect what we're going to do tonight. But what I am going to do is I'm going to place one. Like that. So obviously this, aha, I gotcha. Now I understand what we're doing. So that will then feed into, or will it? Oh, okay. Right, there we go. So that feeds into that. So we've got the angle that we want. Just going to run a little bit of glue into there. What we will do is I'm going to push this in a little bit. And what's slightly annoying with this is that it's not quite where it needs to be. Aha, gotcha. By pushing it in a little bit, once that plastic's melted, pushed it in a little bit, got it to where we want it. And obviously once it's set, don't do it before, otherwise you'll cause yourself problems. There we go, so just adding the pipe work in. But that's all I've just added that one in to see how it would fit. And that is going to be a bit of a pain, and I think I'm going to have to do some cleanup, I think, with that. So yeah, that's a bit of an ache, to say the least. It's just not 100% right, unfortunately. So yeah, there we go. So anyway, I'll fiddle with that a little bit later on, I think. Have a quick look at the chat, see where we're at, see what we can do, because now we're going to think on our feet a little bit. Where will we the chat? Let's have a look. There you go. Scale Model Music saying back with enough ravioli for an army. Excellent. I love ravioli. Lisa just saying yum ravioli. Not had that for ages. Yeah, no, I haven't either. Oh, I do love it. Some are meat filled and some are cheese filled. Oh, lovely. And Steve saying, push it in, James. It's always the best way. Well, that's what she said. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I'm going to resist any temptation to make any comments, Steve. Unlike me, I know. So let's have a quick look at our bits on here. So I guess, actually thinking about it, so I can actually cut this off the sprue. I cut these bits off here, leave it on the main sprue, tidy up our pipe work. In fact, let's just do it. Why talk about it, James? Just do it. So we're going to cut that bit, or where are we going to cut it? This is the question. We don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, and we don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. We don't need that. There we go. So we'll cut that off the sprue. Just tidy this up a little bit. Don't need to do all this fapping about, but so yeah. So basically, you can tidy that up quite easily on there. Let's get a bit of this. Tidy our pipe work up. Always good to have tidy pipes. All right, Steve. You get a sander in there nice and easily. Look, if you want to, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is just use a scalpel blade. Or a mixture of the two. This is what I'll probably end up doing. And the great thing about this, by doing it this way, is you can leave it on the sprue and paint them on the sprue. What I will end up doing is I'll probably end up I would probably end up cutting here along this bit here, because this is the base that goes onto the bit. So this bit here. So I'll end up with just this spine, and the pipes hanging off it for the painting, and then all the only bit of touch up you got to do is touching up your end up here, which you can do that quite easily once you've glued it in place. And yes, I did say that out loud, Steve. Touching up your end. Well, I promised Lisa I'd be good to that as well. Fail. So yeah, the reason, as I say, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to paint some paint on that engine before I start adding the wire. So what I mean by that is I'm going to put some base colours on. You know, I'm not going to do the full Monty of what and oil and all the gubbins. Just literally going to prime it, paint it a base colour, whatever that colour is. Probably a metal colour, if I'm honest. And then what I'll do is I'll dry brush the other colours on once. I'm going to get the wiring on, get that coloured, and then I will dry brush from there on in. So what we'll probably do is off camera, we will probably get it to a point where it's almost finished with the wiring, and then we can show you what we're doing and how I got to that point, sort of thing, etc. Because obviously the cockpit is going to be painted. A lot of that's going to be base coloured and then dry brushed. I may put some oils in it. I don't know. Maybe I to get the effects I want from just the airbrush and a bit of dry brushing. And the backstory to this aircraft is that it can't go off on a mission because it's being repaired. So it might have some battle damage maybe. So there you go, look. They're all tidied up. It doesn't take long to do. It's not hard. It's just faff. So just scratch that away. Anyway, you get the gist. Let's have a quick look at the chat, see where we're at. Oh, would you believe it? We've been joined by the lovely Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Hi, James. Hugs. Hi, Lisa. And Skullfish, Steve, Muse, Mark, Dominic, Dave. Hugs. Love it. Everyone's saying hi back. Lynn's just saying, I just got in from my errands and it's hot. 88 degrees. Lovely. Lisa's saying, nice. It's only about 13 degrees in sunny Scotland. Was that a slight bit of sarcasm with a sunny comment? But yeah, 13 degrees. That's not too bad, to be honest. We ain't far off down south either. Muse is saying, only slightly cooler here, but the humidity is gross. Rained a bit ago and more expected. Yeah. Lynn says she melts when it gets to 75. Ugh. And Muse said he'd rather be cold. Oh, I gotta be honest, I just prefer not to worry about whether it's cold or hot. I just want it to be a nice constant temperature. I'm not worried about rain. Rain's okay. Rain's good for everything. But constant downpours, could do without that. But I've always said I don't understand. Right now, this is a bit of a statement, so I apologise in advance. If you are a religious person, then this isn't meant to offend in any way, shape, or form. But when Mother Nature and the maker of the world sat down and designed it all, you would have thought, wouldn't you, that someone would have said, maybe Mother Nature should have said, look, gonna need rain, gonna need water to sustain life, flowers and all that sort of stuff. But wouldn't it be really great if we had a nice day? It doesn't have to be sunny all the time, but nice dry day, and then it rains at night. Just rains every night, and that's how we get our water, how the flowers survive, and all the rest of it. Was that conversation held? Did someone mention that, and someone go, no, you're not doing that? We'll leave it to random chance. Be more fun. But isn't that a design flaw, really? Come on, you got to agree with me. Rain at night. Don't get me wrong, not great for night workers, but you can work around it. Such a pain. Or should I be even bolder and say that maybe it is done by design? Maybe someone said everyone will think that we should have made it rain at night. Let's not do that. We don't want to be predictable. Anyway, got off on a tangent, don't I, really? Totally Scale Models is saying, or Steve is saying, I'm here, but not here. I'm cooking biryani. Okay, cool. I know it'll be cold by the time it gets here, but send some down to me, Steve. Lisa's saying it's sunny here, but a cold north wind. Yeah, that north wind's been a bit of a pain this last week. Lynn's saying, I don't like the heat. I want it to be 65 degrees. Okay. He's saying, and then that's how Florida came to be. Yeah, only it rains in the daytime, and by lunch you can't tell until it did. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? Funny enough, I've been to Florida, and I'll never forget. I was quite young at the time. My parents were busy doing something in a conference or something. I seem to remember. So my sister and brother and I went for a nice beach walk in Florida, and we were caught in a storm. And it literally was one cloud in the sky, hoofing it down for a very short period of time. The cloud was moving pretty fast. But I have never experienced heavy rain like that ever in my life since. Or how it was really sunny 1 second and then absolutely hammering it down and then sunny the next second. It's just really strange. And also, Florida's the only place I've ever experienced that sensation where you're on a road and one side of the road is absolutely pouring down and the other side is bone dry, not a splash. Yeah, weird, really weird to see. Love Florida. Don't like the heat, but hey ho. So there you go. So I'm busy sounding this, and I'll be honest, I'm getting to the point where I think I'm gonna probably call it a day on this stream, because I haven't been able to do exactly what I wanted to. But I wanted to make sure I did something this week because I know, for example, Dominique had said that they were going to be watching, and a couple of other people said they couldn't wait for the stream and blah blah blah. And I feel really bad that I let you down. So never mind. We've explained that, but yeah. So I wanted to make sure I was here. Music's just saying Florida is okay for a vacation, but to live there, nope. Lynn's saying it hasn't rained since February. Wow. The rain is worst up in Michigan. Today would likely have scared the hell out of you. Yeah, probably, if I'm honest. I know it can certainly rain. So there you go. We've been going for an hour and a half, guys. There's 10 of you watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. So yeah, like I say, we've prepared the engine parts the best we can. We're at a point really. We're pretty much at a point where we need to paint. The wiring that I'm talking about is going to be coming off this little loop here, which we haven't fixed yet, because I want to double check that part because it's got quite a lot. I don't know if you can see, it's got quite a lot of flash on it, but that's where all our wires are going to be connected to and to our pistons. So we'll do that. We'll do that soon. And then what I want to do is I want to get into the interior. I want to get this painted because this is done. This is done how I want it to be done. All the wiring is on there that I want. So we are at the time where we need to get that in prime and sorted, because all the other bits that are here are all going to be fitting into that. And I really want to get to a point where we've built up this side and we can put the two parts together, because then I can figure out exactly where we are with bulkheads and the wing section, because obviously the wings that we're going to do is we're going to do them so they're folded, so it's going to be a fun time too. So as you can see, that's where the cockpit will go, because that's where the cockpit is on this plane at the front, funnily enough, like most planes. Yeah, so we can get that all fitted in. Once these are all painted and sorted, we can get them all fitted in and done, and then we can get onto our wing section. So yeah, there we go. That's where we're up to. Carl was going to join me tonight, as I said, but he's been waylaid with other bits and pieces, so no big problem. Lynn's just saying, "Darn, I missed most of the show." And yeah, it's always there on playback, not a problem. Like I say, it's got to be a short one today, because obviously it was a last minute thing anyway. So what are the plans for coming streams? So I need to pre-warn you that life at the moment is a bit hectic. I've got some work coming up, certainly over the next 10 days, where I am solid working. I will be streaming at some point, but it's going to be a last minute thing. So if you're watching this now and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, and that way you will get notifications of the streams and any content of the channel, and you won't miss a thing. If you're watching it on Facebook, that's fine. Just keep looking out for the posts, and I'll try and give you as much notice as I can, but we will be doing this build a little bit ad hoc. I may even, certainly at one point, there will be a case of there will be a show, but it won't be a live stream. It will be a live premiere. By that means is I will record some stuff, put it together as a video, and we'll do it as a live premiere. So I'll be watching it with you. You can ask some questions, we can have a chat while it's going on. But it's content in which, some of it, obviously, when you're painting, you don't want to sit there and watch paint dry. Yeah, that's not good programming. So there will be some of that as well. So anyway, for now, thank you everyone so much for being with me. I'm really, really grateful. 9 of you still watching. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But I'm going to call this stream to an end. Until next time, I will see you soon. Ta-ta for now.